Hello, I'm Mary Snell, Director of Nutrition and Wellness for Marsh Supermarkets. Thank you for joining me today as we go over some shopping strategies to help you manage your diabetes. Healthy eating is the first step in taking care of your diabetes. You can make a big difference in your blood glucose levels through your food choices. You'll feel better, and you may also reduce or prevent some of the complications associated with diabetes. People with diabetes do not need special foods. You'll notice on our tour today that the foods that are good for you are also good for your family. But before we get started, let's review a couple of important things. First of all, always eat about the same amount of food at the same time each day. Skipping meals and snacks may lead to low blood glucose levels. Secondly, achieve and maintain a healthy body weight. Physical activity can help manage your diabetes, but always check with your doctor before starting an exercise program. And lastly, let's focus on eating foods and beverages with the most nutrition. On our tour today, I will show you how to include fruits and vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, dairy products, and lean proteins into your meal plan. All right, let's get started. I'll grab a cart and meet you in the produce department. Well, here we are in the produce department, and this is a great place to begin on your path of healthy eating. The first thing to remember is to eat a variety of fruits and vegetables. Research tells us that a variety of fruits and vegetables helps reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke, and certain forms of cancer. And also, fill half your plate with fruits and vegetables. And the fruits and vegetables that you want to look for are the non-starchy vegetables. A couple of examples would be a head of lettuce, some cucumbers, we've got carrots here, a bunch of spinach, and actually broccoli. Wow, this one really looks good, so I think I'm going to put it in my cart. And in addition to a lot of the fresh fruits and vegetables, there are a lot of canned and frozen and dried fruit that you can also incorporate into your meal plan as well. I've got a few examples in my cart, and I'll share those with you in terms of what you need to look for in making sure they stick to your diabetic meal plan. In terms of fruits, what you want to look for are those that have no sugar added, like this example of diced peaches. Another good example of fruits that will fit into your meal plan would be this variety. When looking for canned vegetables, pick the type that are canned with no salt added. I've got two examples here that actually don't have any salt added, or look for a low sodium variety. Fruit can also fit into your meal plan, but what you want to look for are those juices that are 100% juice. This is an example, it's 100% grape juice. One product that you do want to avoid are the ones that are actually just a fruit blend or a cocktail. These products have too much sugar in them for someone following a diabetes diet. And lastly, dried fruit can also be part of a healthy diet as well. The other thing to remember when eating fruits is that they are full of carbohydrates, so serving sizes are important. When having juice, measure out half a cup. When having an apple, try to look for the smallest apple. This would be considered one serving of fruit, but this larger apple would actually be considered 2 servings of fruit. What I would do with the larger apple is cut it in half, eat one now, and save the other half for another meal. Bananas are about the same thing as well. Look for a smaller banana, and this would be considered 1 serving of fruit. If you do buy the larger bananas, keep in mind that you might have to cut it in half, eat one now, and save the other half for later. Well, we're actually done in the produce department. I'll see you next in the meat and seafood area. Protein is an important part of a healthy meal plan, and we're here in the meat area, and I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about how to buy lean cuts of beef and pork. But before we get started with that, other forms of protein are also seafood, eggs, beans, peas, and lots of your soy products. All right, so how do we choose a lean cut of beef or pork? There's 2 words that you really want to remember. Look for the word loin or round. And I've got a couple examples in my cart to share with you. I've got an example here of sirloin tip. This again has the word loin in the title, so that means it's a lean cut of beef. Another great example would be this cut. And this one says top round. Again, the word round is in the title, so it tells me that this is a lean cut of beef. And when your recipe calls for ground beef, choose ground round or ground sirloin instead. When looking for pork, use the same kind of analogy. We'll look for the words loin. This pork tenderloin, again, is an extra lean cut of pork. And here's another product, pork loin butterfly chops. These are lean just as well. The other thing to remember when cooking beef and pork and serving it is the serving size. 3 ounces cooked is the average serving size, and if you don't have a scale to weigh your meat, one way to really estimate the serving size is either to look at the palm of your hand, or if you think about a deck of cards, this also represents about 3 ounces of meat. And lastly, always include seafood into your meal plan as well. The dietary guidelines recommend that all Americans should consume about 2 servings of seafood every week. There's a wonderful selection to choose from. Could be fresh, could be frozen, and we also have a lot of canned varieties that make great economical and alternative choices, such as this canned salmon and canned tuna. When buying oils, you want to choose the healthy products. I've got a couple examples in my cart that I can share with you. Canola oil is a great all-purpose oil that, again, is a heart healthy oil. You can use it for all your baking and cooking needs. Another great oil is peanut oil and olive oil. These 2 oils have a little bit of a subtle flavor, and so you might want to put those on your salads or anything else that can handle the flavor of olive and peanut oil. Cooking sprays are another great alternative because, again, you don't have to use a lot of these to coat your pan, and so it reduces the number of calories and fat grams. When buying salad dressings, also look for those products that are either light or fat-free. This also will cut back on the number of calories that you're getting from these particular products. In a sandwich spread like mayonnaise or Miracle Whip, always look for the light or the fat-free products as well. Choosing cereals can be very challenging. There are 3 things that you need to look for when trying to find a healthy product, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. I've got several examples in my shopping cart, and I'm going to teach you how to find the healthiest cereal. What you want to look for, first of all, is it a whole grain or a whole wheat product? Secondly, you want to look at how much dietary fiber is in per serving. And lastly, the amount of sugar per serving. So let's take a product, this shredded wheat product for instance. I'm going to look at the ingredient list and first determine, is it a whole grain product? And it's listed definitely as a whole grain wheat, so it meets that first rule. The second one, for dietary fiber, you want to pick a cereal that has at least 3 grams of fiber per serving. This one has 8, so it does meet my dietary fiber rule. And lastly, in terms of sugar content, it should have less than 6 grams of sugar per serving. And this one does. It has less than 1 gram of sugar per serving. So this is a really good, healthy choice. Let's look at another one. This Kellogg's Smart Start. Boy, that really does sound pretty healthy. Well, let's look again. Does it meet my 3 rules? As an ingredient, the first one listed is a whole grain wheat, so it is a whole grain cereal. Dietary fiber, 3 grams, so it does meet the 3-gram rule. In terms of sugar, it has 14 grams of sugar, so it's a little bit too high in sugar to be considered a healthy cereal, so I better put that one back. Let's look at another one. This Food Club Bran Flakes is also probably another really good choice. If I look at the ingredient list, the first one that's listed, it is a whole grain wheat, so it does meet that rule. It has 5 grams of dietary fiber, so it's more than the 3 that's required. And it has 5 grams of sugar per serving, so it has less than the 6. So this is another excellent choice in terms of a healthy cereal. This is also another good cereal where you can put raisins on top of it and just sort of increase the flavor just a little bit. Hopefully that'll help you learn how to shop for a healthy cereal. Dairy products such as milk, cheese, and yogurt play an important part of a healthy diet. And these type of products provide us with calcium, vitamin D, and they're a great source of protein as well. But with so many products to choose from, sometimes it's kind of hard to know which ones are considered the best ones for your diet. I've got a couple examples in my cart that I'm going to share with you. The first thing, always choose low-fat or non-fat, fat-free kinds of products. In terms of milk, 1% and skim milk would be your better choices. If you do drink soy milk, always look for the brand that is unflavored, such as this product right here. When you're buying cheeses, look for reduced fat and fat-free products as well. And lastly, if you're buying cottage cheese, look for the fat-free or the reduced fat cheese products. When buying bread, always look for a whole grain or a whole wheat product. Whole grains have been shown to reduce our risk for heart disease and certain forms of cancer. I've got a couple products in my shopping cart that I'm going to share with you. This product says it's 100% whole wheat. Well, I'm going to make sure that it is a whole grain product. So I'm going to look at the ingredient list and make sure that the first ingredient listed is whole wheat flour, and it's listed as whole wheat flour. Secondly, I want to make sure that this is also low in fat. And the number here is it needs to be less than 2.5 grams of fat per serving. And this one meets the bill. So this is a healthy bread. Here's another product to look at. This one says 100% whole wheat, but I'm going to check the ingredient list just to make sure it is a whole grain product. Whole wheat flour is listed first, and it only has 1 gram of fat per serving. So this is an excellent choice as well. Now this product says honey wheat on the front, but just to make sure it is a whole wheat product, I'm going to check the ingredient list again. Well, the number 1 ingredient is not whole wheat flour, so I better just put that one back for right now. Other products like English muffins and bagels, here again, make sure that you're looking for a whole wheat or a whole grain product. Always check the ingredient list first and make sure that whole grain or whole wheat is listed number 1. Well, that's it, and our tour is ended, and I've had a great time. Hopefully I've given you some helpful strategies on how to better manage your diabetes.